So I had a really wonderful person very thoughtful person, who noted that my post on electromagnetism caused by the sun and moon causing tides on Earth and seawater didn't apply to lakes. And if you didn't know, of course, I did know that Lake Wakatipu, which is not very far from me, to be fair, has tides. And I had actually often wondered why that was, especially given the fact that electromagnetism is what causes the tides and it wouldn't apply in this case. So I, of course, finally had enough time to go look this up, go learn about it. And so I just wanted to share with others why lakes have tides. So there's a common misconception that lakes having tides is caused by gravity. I certainly got instructed by my teacher at school that that's sort of why those things happen. And as we know from electromagnetism, it's not even gravity that causes any tide on Earth in the first place. So I just wanted to go over what I've learned, which is it's great. It's great learning stuff. So Lake Wakatipu actually has a tide every 27 minutes. Its water rises and falls for about 20 centimeters. So we know that that's too often for it to be gravity anyway. But actually, if you read down here, it is not actually a tide, but a very large seiche or standing wave. So I've just pulled up what a seiche is because, I didn't actually know what that was. So I'll just go over this. If you've observed water sloshing back and forth in a swimming pool, bathtub, cup of water, you may have witnessed a small scale. Oh, sorry, it's pronounced seiche. But on a much grander scale, the same phenomenon occurs in large bodies of water such as bays and lakes. So basically, it's kind of like this sloshing back and forth caused by like atmospheric changes, it says here, or strong winds. Because this is like a big bowl, essentially, in the ground. I think what I'm gathering happens is as wind comes over the mountains, especially like Wakatipu, there's mountains surrounding it, they get pushed down into the water, these strong winds, and would push against the water, causing it to have a wave. Hopefully you're following. But that's how I'm sort of grasping this. So when the wind stops, it says the water rebounds to the other side of the enclosed area, of course, and sloshes back and forth. It says the water will then continue to oscillate back and forth for hours or even days. So basically that's just to sum it up. So, I find this is from the National Ocean Service, or, US Department of Commerce. That's interesting. So this is a wee animated demonstration of what kind of happens. You can imagine if the wind is coming down off a mountain and slamming into that water, of course it could cause a wave, and of course that wave's going to come back, and if that wind does keep going down there, it's just going to keep causing what appears to be a tide, but it's not an actual tide. You can truly trust the electromagnetic reason for why we have tides. I absolutely would not have shared that if that was incorrect. So I promise you that is exactly the answer. That's exactly why it happens. Salt is actual. Yeah, great job, honey. Salt is actually a really good conductor. So yeah, that all adds up perfectly great. And that's the reason why we have tides in lakes. I've just learnt this morning. So thank you to the person who actually asked me that question, because it drove me to sort of find out why. Because I did know that electromagnetism was the cause after reading so much. But yeah, it certainly interested me that it didn't apply to lakes. I appreciate that, because now I have an answer in the future, especially for my children as well, because I'm having to reteach them things. As you know, school is extremely indoctrinating. So, they certainly think that they were certainly told that, well, my daughter was, that tides are caused by gravity of the moon, which is not at all true. I certainly got taught that at school. You probably did as well. It's completely untrue. They had no factual basis to tell us that. They even say themselves that that's not true now. It's appalling. You can't pass things off as science if there's no science with it. You can't just say something is because you want it to be for your own agenda. So this is true science. Yeah, feel free to look it up. Feel free to understand electromagnetism. I honestly urge you to, because it is absolutely fascinating. It makes so much sense that my brain has just absorbed it all. I completely understand how it works. So yeah, I mean, if you do it as well, if you look this up, learn it as well, it's crazy. Your brain literally just absorbs anything that's true, and it just it's all in there now. I can't get rid of it. I know exactly how that works. So yeah, it's great. We could have way more people understanding these things than we did, in previous generations. So this is great. This is a good answer. It completely makes sense to me. I completely understand that. Hopefully you guys do as well. But yeah, no, so that is not at all caused by gravity. And this just reinforces it, because if it was due to gravity, then lakes would in fact have tides, and those tides would in fact be rising and falling at the same time as the surrounding ocean, seawater. So yeah, interesting. And yeah, don't trust everything that they teach you, obviously. That's what I've come to learn. You really just can't trust people, even if they claim to be scientists, because we really need the studies, we need empirical evidence, we need to be able to prove it, we need to be able to test it, it needs to be peer-reviewed, it needs to be observable. There's a lot of things that come into science, and I think a lot of these scientists, especially generations back, just failed to do proper science, and they just said what was required of them to say for agendas. So yeah, wow, interesting. Seesh, I believe it's called. Hopefully I said that right. But anyway, catch you guys later.